We got speed, okay. I don't know where to begin, Ben. Good, congratulations
Thank
on,
you very much.
as I just told you, because you can read this in the paper, my favorite film of the year.
I don't know what to say. That's overwhelming and generous compliment.
Well, I know that means a lot to you.
It does.
Yeah,
It means an enormous amount.
Because I know the kind of work that it took. This moment that we're sharing right now, Boston Irish luck or just one hell of a lot of hard work?
Both. You know what I mean? You have to say both because I know a lot of guys that work real hard that haven't got lucky. You know what I mean? And so I don't fool myself into thinking that it's because I deserve it or it's got to be luck. It's not just luck. Nobody just gets lucky because you have to do the work. But it's both.
And it's patience too. It's taken you 5 years, and I think there's a movie in the making of Good Will Hunting.
There really is.
Yeah.
At least a magazine article or two. I mean, it's a grind.
Yeah,
I
can imagine.
And there are times when it seemed pretty bleak and seemed kind of, desperate straits. Yeah. But it ended up happening and being made, and I'm very proud of it. So regardless of how it's received, I'm proud of the movie, and I like it. I like your clattering too. Very nice.
You noticed that. Yeah. Of course, you grew up in the south side of Boston. You're one of the guys, and one of the Irish guys trying to survive in that environment. And your best friend, Will, played by Matt Damon, has a gift. Mm-hmm. You're one of the few people, I mean, he's so quick and he's so ahead of everybody. I can imagine what he was like in high school. But that could tell him, hey, do it this way and get away with it. Why do you think that is?
It's the kind of thing that's like you can put one over on a lot of people. You know what I mean? A lot of guys want to run a whole scam, and you know what I mean, and they have their whole act and their routine, and a lot of it's putting up a show. But when it's like there's a few guys that you grew up with that you can't con like that.
That's right.
Who can call you on it? Who can call you and say, hey, wait a minute. Don't tell me, you know what I mean? Because I know you, and I knew you when, and I've known you forever, and I know who you are, and and that's what makes you friends, and that's where that's where that friendship comes from. But it also means that those are the guys that you can't.
I know what you mean, and that's a great scene where you're in the brickyard or talking, where you guys have that conversation. And Robin Williams is, the professor from MIT says, well, what does he hang with these gorillas for? Hey, these gorillas that lay their life down for him.
And that's what he would, and that's the truth, and that's the bond, and that's the heart of that friendship. You know what I mean? And it's true, he doesn't understand that. That character doesn't understand that. But those are important friendships, and those are the things that keep a lot of people kind of going in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because this is difficult for me because I've been there. I'm from that neighborhood almost. Sports, so very important to those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you really show that. Matt's scene with Robin, they're talking about Fisk.
Going on,
And that's the way it is.
Absolutely. It absolutely. I don't know what it is. I don't have an explanation for it, but sports is a really important. A big part of it is sports betting. Like everybody's making book in the bar, and everybody's playing the football cards. And I mean, not me, but that's when you get older. But as a kid, you grow up, and these guys are your heroes, ball players, and this is the guys you want to be like, and they're. And you play in Little League, and you play Babe Ruth, you play Pop Warner football, and and so you look up to these people, and there's a part of that a part of you that still has that hero worship, even when you. The film
really brings that out.
Yeah.
And I'm almost out of time, but you've known Matt all your life. You got to work together again.
Absolutely. We're working. Actually, we're both acting in another movie that neither one of us wrote called Dogma. When I finish this movie I'm doing now called Armageddon with Bruce Willis, we'll do that in March, and then we're writing another one together that we'll probably do sometime, maybe a year from now. We'll start. It should be done, and we'll
look forward to that.
Hopefully, it won't take quite as long as this one did.
Let's continue this over a Guinness.
I'd love to. I would love to. It was a pleasure.
Ben, my pleasure, and don't miss Good Will Hunting, best film of the year.
Thank you very much.
I mean that.
That's really cool.